Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to React Andy. Tonight, episode 2 of Owarimonogatari Season 2. What happened on last episode, episode 1 of Owarimonogatari Season 2? That is a great question. So, basically, we're in hell. Because, thank you, Gaon, I guess. Also, thank you, Araragi, I guess. But yeah, we're in the bottom level of hell, like, what is it called? Like, Asiti or something like that? I don't know. It's somebody will say it somewhere in the comments. We're in the bottom layer of hell. But it's kind of worth it because now we're with Hachikuji again, because guess who else is in hell? It's Hachikuji. Why is Hachikuji in hell? That is a great question, though a couple people do talk about that a minute here in the comments, so that's kind of exciting. Yeah, we're kind of in a situation where we're in hell. This is part of Gon's plan in this, like, it was done in a mathematical formula, right? Whereas, like, even if we're multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2 and then multiplying by 2 later, we're doing a little bit of subtraction between, so, like, it'll still do something, right? And so, hypothetically, Araragi is being prepared to get revived by, is it Heartspan? Is that the name? I'm forgetting the sword name, but the revival, the Oddity Reviver Blade, right? He was killed by the Oddity Killer Blade. Now he's gonna get revived by the Oddity Reviver Blade, hopefully. So yeah, Hachikuji's here, though. Hi, Hachikuji! And then also Tadatsuru's here. Let's go, Tadatsuru. It is, you know what's kind of funny, bro? Think about it, you're gone, right? And you're like, dang, I need to do some planning here. Like, I need to do a little bit of scheming with all my knowledge. And then one of your balancer friends dies, and you're like, you know what? Let's just send Araragi to death, too. Like, I already got an agent there, right? I already got people in position. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, let's honestly just boom, get up last episode 1, where there's a lot of comments. I'll go through this, hopefully decently quick, because I also want to look at the OPED a bit. Oh, and then also, wait, I gotta pull Discord up. I keep notes in my Discord. In a Discord server, because last night I originally meant to record this last night, but I instead just rewatched the episode and spent like 40 minutes just pondering, you know, just kind of sitting here doing this. I'll just sit here, play it, let it run a little bit, and then I'd pause it and I'd just think, and then I'd write down like a sentence, and I did that for like 40 minutes to an hour or something here. So I'll be kind of trying to bounce off that a little bit, but yeah, we'll start with the comments. I think we'll definitely start with the comments, and I'll try to go through this pretty quick, and then I'll move into my my little notations just to grab anything that I forgot. Also, I've got new pajamas, bro. Look at my new pajamas. Isn't this color scheme kind of crazy? Am I wrong? Like I don't know, man. It's kind of cooking. But yeah, like these pants, bro. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I'll just start at the top. Go through quick. Yay, Hachikuji! I love. By the way, the Hachikuji profile pic with Best Girl. It's real. But yeah. So first off, the reincarnation thing about Hachikuji even being in hell. Because when I heard that last episode, I was like, okay, that makes no sense. Get that out of here. This is stupid. The reasoning, I can totally understand. I was maybe a little bit fast on it. Oh, frick. I also want to pull up Bukke 3. I literally have it downloaded so we can find, because something about the rocks. But yeah, I'll get to that. But yeah, Hachikuji's in hell because, died before their parent, so that's like a small negative on the child's karma, and so now they're here to stack stones to build up karma to then go to heaven. That was kind of my interpretation of the comments here, because a couple people kind of threw in some ideas on that, and I think this part, the dying before your parents, like, is wrong. I kind of mentioned that as like the only hypothetical that really made sense to me. But yeah, like kind of what I'm actually more okay with about like this kind of Avicii, this Buddhist, I'm just gonna trust this Buddhist conceptualization of hell where like children get sent to hell. I'm actually kind of more okay with it after like reading a bit of this, because like originally I was kind of like, oh, the kid is literally hoed for eternity because they got murdered. That's like stupid, right? But if instead they're just kind of sent to like an area to do a little bit of menial labor for like a couple of eternities or a couple of years, I don't know how long afterlife stuff works, and then they get to go to heaven, that's kind of a dub. I mean, you kind of didn't get to live a life, so you didn't get tested there or anything. You didn't earn any karma in life, so instead you just gotta move some rocks. I mean, that's kind of easy dub. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just count some sand. I mean, it's boring, but at least it's not like life is kind of hard, you know. So I can actually be more here for it, especially because it's like the banks of hell, so it's like the nicest place in hell, you know. Kind of, and I think there was someone who made a comparison to first layer of like Dante's Inferno. I think it was in here. I forgot. Anyways, so yeah, that's just a little bit of a commentary on that, where I'm actually kind of down with that, you know. I mean, not like down with that, but I'm not like now I'm kind of, I can understand it, as opposed to just be like, children in hell, how could you? You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's cool. Boom, ba-da-dum, boom, boom. Mayoi Heaven short story. Apparently, there's a good handful of the short stories. I kind of want to see that. This is kind of a funny idea though, that like Hachikuji also deserved to be in hell for scamming children to being lost. Which is kind of an interesting idea as well. And then Hachikuji's the producer. Yeah, I think they played with that gimmick before. I think I've heard that before, even before this episode, but I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. This is called character development. Yeah, you literally say it. Now that's character development. Listen. There comes a point where I can't just freak out at every Hachikuji scene. I just am focused on the dialogue. I'm razor focused, all right? Same thing with like every Hanakawa scene, or like every scene in this show. A bunch of nonsense is happening. I'm just trying to not keep distracted. You know what I mean? But yeah. Actual juice though. Actual juice. Let's get into some of the actual juice. So a little bit of like a correction on some of this stuff. So a lot of that prologue is part of chapter 1, which is the prologue, which always takes place after the arc. That's kind of interesting. I have a lot to say on the prologue. I do have a lot to say on the prologue, I think. The point of like the last bit about a fool is never cured until death, and then he says one more line after that I think makes even more sense. How what comment here is saying that is a point that he would rather be a fool than dead, right? And so he's like he's having to in favor, or instead of dying, he's having to recognize his own weakness and in his own situation as a fool. Which, you know, Ogi constantly taunts him as that or whatever, right? So I think that's a super interesting spot. It reminds me of more than anything else. It reminds me of the thing he said in Kizu about being a tree. You know what I mean? About like how a tree. He was saying it to like Hanakawa or whatever. How like a tree. He would rather be a tree because a tree doesn't have to like move around or like do anything. It kind of almost reminds me of that, where it's like, yeah, he still wants to be alive. But he wants to be alive in a way that is like no negative, you know, like pure, right? And pure honestly has a lot of like parallel to like the entire Hanakawa thing, right? So the whole like fool part almost feels connected to that, where it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to die, you know, but it's like, I don't know. I almost want to say that there could be a connection between the lack of ability that a tree has combined with the weakness that a fool has, right? Where like both lack the punching power to do things, right? They come from different approaches, you know? This is also, I think this comments are in really well. This part, like, as he already has a cracked foundation, he fearfully fragile, unable to support the burden of connection. Like that's, ooh, the fragile, and that's what leads to individuality out of fragility. That's great. I love that. I love that. I love putting it into words like that. And then this is it being after the prologue. Is also kind of important for like the tone of that, but whatever. Hell stuff. I think this is. Oh yeah, this is kind of what I was trying to comment on a little earlier. So I'm good on this. What I really like about it though is that none of it's everlasting. That's just random commentary on Buddhist hell. Cause yeah, my conception of heaven and hell, cause I was raised Christian, right? No, fun fact, a little bit of lore right there. I was raised Christian, right? So my conception of hell is, oh, you're there forever. Oh, you screw up. Oh, you're in hell. Have fun getting tortured by the devils forever. Not exactly what I was taught, but it was everlasting, right? It's permanent, right? And I never have liked that idea at all, because it's like, bro, I'm just a dude trying to live, and I get put, like, my actions matter for eternity. It doesn't, then in that regard, like, it doesn't even matter what I really, like, or like, nothing in life matters except for how it applies to your afterlife. Because if I get a +1 in life enjoyment, right, that means nothing compared to the 0.0 a billion zeros 1 if it applies to afterlife, because afterlife's infinity, and so anything positive or negative as applied to infinity will be more than applied to real life. So you could have freaking a +10,000 life experience bonus, but that is worse. That is like mathematically worse than a 0.01 to your afterlife, right? And so it's like, bro, you are so razor focused there. But at least with like and maybe that's just me being like slothful, or like, I don't know, like I don't want to sacrifice my entire life to my afterlife kind of deal. But so, you know, that could be a lot of things. But the idea that like once you actually are there, you can keep working, I like that. That just seems nicer to me, man. But yeah, for the process to continue kind of deal. But yeah. Anyways, and then this kind of being the Hachikuji thing, this I think makes a lot of sense to me. And shout out Jizu, who saves the kids from getting harassed. Pog. This, by the way, is super cool, which is that he stuffs them into his robe, which is the joke Araragi makes about, like, I think him and Hachikuji in like the cart, where he's like, oh, a perfect quick hide in my clothes or whatever. It goes to show that, like, even, dude, his random lewd comments randomly have really cool connections to, like, actual religious or, like, mythological whatever stuff, right? Which then gives it extra meaning, bro. Oh my goodness, I just killed a fly on my first attempt. Corpse now. Sorry. This part, though, I'll just highlight again, as Hachikuji says, his death is not just multiplying and then dividing, there's subtraction between. I'm going to pause on this. So, the question, okay, so like first, subtraction, right? It's subtraction instead of addition, right? I think we need to be very mindful of that when we're trying to figure out what this means, because that means we're taking something away that's already there. So then we're left thinking, okay, what's there, right? Because he has like a lot of like cracks in his foundation, right? Like he lacks a lot of things. So it's like we're not fulfilling something he lacks, where getting rid of something that like weighs on him or is somehow a problem to him, right? The one thought I had was, and it's based actually on what he says in the prologue, because in the prologue he says something along the lines of, like, humans don't give up their lives based on a single feeling. He says, I think it's close to that quote, right? And he's saying that in context to him not giving up his life to go follow Hachikuji in the death world, right? For him not dying in favor of staying alive, which in and of itself was kind of a weird thing for Araragi to say, because he's such a tunnel vision guy. So for him to be saying like, oh, I had to consider my loved ones, that's like a quote, and that humans don't give up their lives based off a single thing, right? It's like, okay, that I almost feel like you're lying to me, or like that you're like, bro, you're in, like, one of your main character traits is that you kind of hyper focus on whatever's in front of you, you know? But we can accept that, like, maybe, like, either we should take it with a grain of salt because it's like that, or it maybe shows some growth in that regard. But what's most important about that line, though, is that he says humans don't give up their lives based on a single feeling, which makes me think, is he, like, considering himself a human right now, right? Like, is it perhaps that through dying and going to the lowest pit of hell, that in some way he's subtracting out the oddity of him, subtracting out the vampirism, you know? Because this is, shout out the timeline, the latest thing in the timeline other than Suruga Devil, and I don't remember in Monogatari him having any vampiric stuff going on at all, right? So, like, straight up, anything could really happen to the lad. Unless I'm, like, forgetting something from Monogatari. But yeah, the point there is that maybe, like, because, like, even on a conceptual level, there's a really cool thing going on where it's like, if you die and get sent to hell, then you're being punished for your mistakes, right? And he's going through a lot of, like, introspection and not recollection, but, like, thinking about his past, right? I mean, we saw that with Nadeko, freaking Senjugahara, and Shinobu, right? Where he's, like, trying to relive those moments and see what's up there. And I'll get to that in a minute when we're scrolling through. But, so, like, there's that already. But I wonder if there's also an element of, like, he is paying for his original sin of saving Kiss Shot, which is, like, proof of him doing something that, like, is non-heroic, which I think comes out of his broken justice foundation, so he's not able to act up to his standards because it's all broken, and so he just does something different, and it's all confusing and causes a bunch of inner discord, you know, blah blah blah. So perhaps being sent to hell here is him getting rid of that, or maybe, like, you could say Gon getting that, kind of giving him an excuse to forgive himself, to kind of move on, and that would be manifested through his connection with Shinobu being severed, or, like, ending him like losing his vampirism, right? Because, like, that being specifically what's subtracted, because, like, that's his connection to Shinobu, and his vampirism is, like, a constant living reminder of both his, like, his mistake, right, his lack of heroism in saving a monster and saving Kiss Shot, but also his, like that's even, like, a deeper, a manifestation of the deeper, like, his entire foundations have been broken, and so now he's living with something that originally would be a problem, and so that just goes to show how messed up everything's become. So if he is to subtract that out, that would be like I could see Gon wanting that to happen, right? Because I feel like that's obvious, right? Like getting rid of the vampire in Araragi is probably a move in the right direction. Well, maybe. I don't know about getting rid of, but it's just weird. Like it really depends on how it's done, right? But I think that could be a positive move. I would be much more a freaking what Hachikuji says it with, like, in regards to Hanakawa, bro, acceptance rather than purging, right? Because we know what the purging the non-pure parts does. I mean, that's freaking Hanakawa's entire story, and then probably somewhat what's going on with Ogi, right? You could probably make those connections pretty easily, right? So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the whole purity thing. That's also the whole thing with Kizu and his thing about, like, being a loner, right? We could make that connection that he's trying to purge and stay pure by staying alone, you know? But yeah, just in regards to that subtraction idea, I think it could be subtracting the vampirism, right? And that on a, just to kind of like wrap that thought, on a abstract level, has to do with forgiving the sin of Kiss Shot through going to hell, but then on a more like literal level, it's that somehow through dying and then being revived, that gets you to stop being a vampire, right? That like dying, now you're done, you get revived as a human, you're good again, right? No idea if that's even the case, especially because the revival blade specifically revives oddities. So in that case, if he's not a vampire, then how is he getting revived if he's a human at that point, right? So I don't know if that's even gonna happen, right? I could be completely spinning off into a bunch of randomness, but I think some of it still applies about like sending himself to hell. Like that's all still gonna be applying, whether or not there is a subtraction of his oddity nature or not. But yeah, so there are, because that's the thing, like the revival blade, right? Which, shout out the armor of Seishiro, Gon has, is how he's gonna get revived, right? Like that would make the most sense. Oh, there's a little bit of hair on you, honey. There you go. Sorry that I called you honey if that was weird. That was a little strange. But yeah, so I don't know if what exactly would make him count as an oddity in what ways, right? So who's to say? Maybe being attached to Ogi, maybe the whole Ogi situation would make him count as an oddity somehow. I don't know. But yeah, this makes sense. This is cool. I feel like there was a cool comment. Oh, this is the comment. There we go. Yeah, this is the comparison to Dante's Inferno. Yeah, I haven't read Dante's Inferno in freaking forever, so that's super cool. I just mostly remember the bottom place where it's cold, and that's where like the betrayal is. I was kind of chilling in betrayal layer, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right. But yeah, then we keep going. Finally caught up. I think that deserves a heart. I love it when people catch up. That's one of my favorite things that we've been seeing. Just it going through the comments, right? Then people are like, you know, yeah. Does seem very unfair getting published for a tragedy. Hachikuji is piling stones into OP. Very true. But then this part, Araragi is doing the exact same thing in Mayoi Snail way back in Bake episode 3. I think you're right. I'm gonna pull that up. Because I would very much like to see that. That'd be super cool, I think. So, I'll finish the comments, but then I'll get back to that because I do wanna. There you go. Just pulling it up so I don't forget. Okay, but yeah. Shout out Senju Ohara. I would honestly need to just see this used in every single context to be able to, I think, make the through line, but that's super cool. Appreciate the support. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Boom, boom, boom. The whole Shinobu male, like, him not wanting to talk about it is something I do need to, like, I don't know. That's something that I'm a little foggy on, because he definitely didn't want to talk about it, like, obviously because of the order. So it's, like, a real thing. And I threw out a couple ideas, but I don't have anything cemented for me. But that's probably something I'll try to look at a bit more in, like, a little bit more retrospect. I know, I guess we're in retrospect territory now, but, like, I'm trying to focus on the hell arc a little bit right now, you know what I mean? But, yeah, and, like, I feel like later, maybe, like, after we finish all that's out, I can do, like, a bigger timeline sift through to, like, really put all the pieces together. Because I have it pretty clear in my head, especially after we did that big timeline unraveling that, like, a couple episodes ago, like, I don't know, like 10 or 12 episodes ago or whatever. But yeah, I think that is a very interesting question I want to get back to for sure. But we're also looking at the OPED this episode, you know, so I'm trying to be a little quick. But I was agreeing with this. I was saying this kind of idea. I totally like this. About this being Araragi's conceptualization especially in regards to like if there was an objective morality, if there was an objective heaven hell, then that would kind of, I think, get in the way of the subjective nature a lot of how Araragi's morality works. So I definitely like this. Araragi sent his innocence to hell. I think that makes enough sense. I think that tracks with me as well. This was actually kind of helpful because I didn't really piece this, that he's the him walking around or whatever, or like looking off his balcony, is when he was looking for Hachikuji. I don't think I clicked that. And then Ogi also does that. This I thought was a really kind of interesting continuation of something I said. So I said that if his interaction with Sodachi and like the fracturing of his justice in with just all the Sodachi arc, that entire thing, if that didn't happen, then perhaps like what would that actually like cause the situation to be now? Would he still have saved Shinobu? But it is super true that even before this, it's not like the Sodachi thing broke him because the Sodachi events were crazy. It's that Araragi was very breakable, you know? Like this point especially, we're talking about a kid who buries dead bugs. That is like such a, like that scene of him burying the dead bug is perhaps one of like the top 5 most important scenes for his character, like low key, right? Especially in contrast to Hanakawa burying the cat, because a cat's an even more buriable object than a bug, you know? And how like I think he even says that that's like something that doesn't make sense, right? But he's doing something, he used to do something even more insane, right? So this point, the burdens he puts on himself will eventually cause him to give out at his weakest point. Because yeah, we could go through his entire history and be like, if he never actually broke and never actually gave out at his weakest point, then would he have saved Kiss Shot or not? It's like that's almost besides the point, because he's like, what wouldn't have broken him? Like at that, like growing up, I think almost always would cause him to start to crumple in this regard, even if something with like the Sodachi event didn't specifically happen, because something else would have just taken its place probably, right? Maybe the Kiss Shot event would have, or maybe he never would have stumbled on the Kiss Shot event because he wouldn't have been messed up at that point, but then something else would have happened, right? He would have had another problem to sort through, right? This is, by the way, still one of my favorite like analogy imageries in the entire show, the whole like the light or the shadow is darkest underneath the candlestick. Damn, it's so good, and like that applying to Ogi was so good. But just that is a showing of how his burdens have weakened him, right? The bright light of those responsibilities and obligations and heroism, and the dark shadow of the fracturing when you're unable to live up to it. That's a crazy 2 sides of the same coin kind of deal, and I just love it. Yeah. The hell is literally something he created for himself. He considers himself to be the lowest of lows for saving a demon. And at this point in the story, the demon he regrets saving is completely shifted from Shinobu to himself. Ooh! As always, the worse he feels, the more he has to indulge in the Hachikuji. I.e., we get the freaking most extreme, literally licking up her thigh Hachikuji scene in like the entire show. And then yeah, this is super true. Agree with that 100 million %. But yeah, so I do really like this point specifically though, because it's one of those things where like the symptom versus the root cause, where it's like Sodachi was kind of the means, right, to the end that would have happened, or how do I want to say this? Sodachi is like one layer removed, like everything that happened with Sodachi is like one layer removed of everything that really was the problem, right? Because as much as we can say like, oh, his idea of justice broke apart because of the events with the teacher and voting out Sodachi because she was sus, right? Even if we got rid of that, or even like we could look at that and say what we want about it, but the real key of it is underneath about who Araragi is and the burdens he has on himself, whether it's from his family or not, whether it's from his his cop parents or not, etc. Right? Yeah. So I thought that was a really good point, and it reminded me specifically of the way I've been trying to think about Shinobu and like in comparison to Ononoki recently, where like Shinobu is like the layer abstracted above, but in reality there's the core issues, right? Shinobu is the sand, right, that's turning into the demon face, but really the play box, the sandbox is broken underneath. Sodachi is the sand in this analogy, turning into the demon face that's causing things to fall apart, but in reality it had a weak foundation because of who Araragi is, who he's been raised to be. Boom. So yeah, I thought that was a really good point. The goat is here, the goat is back, we are so back, we are so feet, and we have entered the end game. It's true. This is terrifying, by the way. Like, I don't know. It's crazy to think that we're close to the end, bro. It's crazy to think that. I was thinking about that the other day. There's gonna be a day soon that I'm done with Monogatari. That is so sad. I'm just, when is more gonna come out? I need to ask people on that. But yeah. Let me, what do I want to do next here? Why am I getting pinged in my Discord? I'm just gonna look at it real quick to make sure nothing bad is happening. Oh, that is so funny. Okay, no, nothing actually important. Just making sure that nothing's on fire. You know how it is. Let me also, where's my Dr. Pepper? Here it is. Okay, do we want to look at Bake 3 real quick? Yeah, I think let's look at Bake 3, and then I'll pull up the episode because I want to hit a couple things that I took notes of. Then we'll look at the OPED, then we're going to get into the new episode. Then we're going to talk about the new episode. Think about that. A little bit for me, a little bit for you. The indirect kiss, that's what we do. Okay, so yeah, I forgot the order I established for myself, so I'm just gonna open, oh yeah, Bake 3. So yeah, let me open Bake 3 real quick. I want to find that scene. I haven't looked for it yet. I honestly forgot. Okay, Bake 3, maximize that hoe. Stacking stones. Bro, look at Araragi, dude. He looks different. Doesn't he look different now? Or in this shot? Man looks young. Okay, stone stacking. Hachikuji? Hi, Hachikuji. Is in the OP? I don't think it's in the OP. This was such crack. Bro, when I was watching this back way in Bake, I was like, what am I watching, bro? This is the most anime thing I've ever seen. I was not here for it. This OP is just too much energy, bro. I do not have that much energy. Oh, and the flashing bits? Oh my goodness, I forgot how peak those were. Okay, any stone stackings? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Senjugahara. A little bit of transactional love. Oh, him trying to look at our booty as we pedaling. Classic Araragi behavior. But she still accepts him. Aww. Here. Okay. I'm pretty boring, huh? Ooh. Goated soundtrack. Do. Look how tiny my worries are. I really hate it. Ooh. Okay, and that's him stacking them. Because, yeah, like, originally you would think that in context to, like, oh, look how tiny my problems are. Like, they're just pebbles, right? But him stacking it, especially when Hachikuji's standing over there as a spirit, you know, has that entire other angle that, like, now freaking 80, 90 episodes in the future is like, really kind of being pushed and explored. Like, with it being in the OP, the new OP, right? Is that pretty much it right there? Just that one little ooh, and then it falls. It all falls. What causes it to fall? It's like pulling great luck. But then really it's not that great. It just kind of falls apart. Yeah, so his little attempt to gain karma there doesn't work, you know? I wonder what we could see in like a grander scheme with that, but I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, him acting like a child at a playground, right? He's acting like the spirit of not damned. Well, I guess damned because you're in hell, but I don't know. I don't want to use damned in a Buddhist context because I don't know how that works. But him stacking stones in a playground, he's acting as if he's a dead child in a way, which is kind of interesting, you know? Like that kind of feels like it has something there. You know what I mean? Dang, death of the inner child. But yeah. I love that terminology, man. He can't stop me. Okay, so that's cool. Let me pull up Owari too. I just wanted to find that scene so we could like see it ourselves, you know what I mean? But yeah, okay. And then my notes, everything's coming through, right? Yep. Beta. Okay. So, let me read a little bit of this. So, yes, this beginning part, I wanted to jump some of these right here. Oh, literally already, right? Right here. So why didn't I just do it in regards to dying to go see Hachikuji? He does some yapping. It is funny that in this view, she's going up, which is like heaven, right? There were still things I had to do. Right here. So, I'm like, this feels like something Araragi would say, even if he knows himself that he's kind of capping, right? Of course, I needed to consider my loved ones. my family and my lover, my benefactors and friends. Bro, when Hachikuji's fading away in front of you, you don't care about any of that, right? He's like, let's move to the mountains, you know? I feel like time and time again, he razor focuses on what's in front of him and tries to save everyone no matter what, right? And so like this whole like, oh, I had to consider all the options and really see a grander scope of the situation. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't trust him when he's saying this. You know what I mean? It's like ironic. It's like deeply ironic coming from this guy. This part, humans, at least in my case. So is it in his viewing of humans, or in his case as a human, aren't such extraordinary free-spirited creatures as to give up their lives based on a single feeling? This is something that he just said is true, or like said that it applied to himself, that he didn't give up his life based on a single feeling, that feeling being to follow Hachikuji, and he's using the reference of but humans, right? So it kind of feels like he's saying something about his humanity there, and like defining himself in regards to a human, as a human, right? Which then could, with this being a prologue that takes place after the arc, could be a key to subtracting the vampirism, to subtracting the oddity, which is representative of the sin that he feels he has done, that burden that he's burdened himself with, that he won't forgive himself for, throughout the entire, you know, it's Shinobu period. But yeah, so I that's kind of my current idea with that. I wanted to just grab the words for that so I could repeat it a little bit. Rather a fool than dead. He's not a vampire anymore. Revived sword is only for oddities. His vampirism is what subtracted, ? Learning to accept himself / forgive himself for saving Shinobu, ? Another part entirely. So this part here, where we're getting, I wonder, I might be off on this one. I'll admit here. But what we're doing in this kind of like later half of the episode is going through different events, and Araragi's thinking like, would I have done it differently? So here with Shinobu, he acts the exact same way despite all the regret he has felt, right? Over not doing better. Right? So in that way, he hasn't changed, right? His past actions are aligning with what he would do even now. And then we say the same thing with Senjugahara, where he's like, I will catch her no matter what. Right here. I'll catch her as many times as I need to, right? So both times he's seeing like my experience has done nothing. I'm still the same I was. There's kind of a hopelessness to it, like a lack of control, lack of power to it. But Nadeko is different. I think Nadeko is different because it's interesting. He comes to this conclusion that I'd act the same way no matter how many times I face the same situation right before the Nadeko point, which then primes the Nadeko one here to subvert that or challenge that in some way. Because it's interesting, he doesn't do the Nadeko thing and then make this point. You know, the Nadeko thing comes after the point is made, I think, to challenge it, because he says all this stuff, Hachikuji helps him out, and he sees Nadeko here on the steps of that mountain when I passed by Sengoku Nadeko. Back then, so when it originally happened, I didn't realize it was her. But now he does. Now he realizes it was her, right? He knows who it is this time. Because he's living the same moment again, and the original moment was based on a lack of information that now he does have. So in this situation, he wouldn't do the same thing, right? Because, you know, I act the same way no matter how many times I face the same situation. It's not true. It's not true with Nadeko, because in the same situation is now different because he has different knowledge, right? And you could, like, I think that's very specifically challenging his, like, letting go of the steering wheel mentality of I'm always going to do the same thing, because then that leads to a why would I try to do something else? But then here with Nadeko, I think it challenges that, right? Because he does now have the potential, like, this is like a branching point from his previous actions, whereas the other flashbacks didn't branch at all. And he has a very strong reaction to this, right? And then notice he has that strong reaction. Hachikuji brings up that he's not omnipotent, right? Which is kind of like but if you weren't omnipotent, maybe then that would be true, but you're not omnipotent. So like the knowledge that's around you will influence your situation. Even if you find yourself in the same situation, the knowledge around that situation would challenge things, right? Change things, rather. Shout out Hanakawa. But then this part afterwards I find really entrancing as well. which is kind of a separate thing entirely. But this last little part where they're just walking, and it cuts to this dude freaking in his little cove. It almost looks like an eye, right? Like a shadowed eye with this being like a dark and like pupil. It just zooms in on him. The ambiance is crazy. The ambiance is crazy. But yeah, so that was something I thought was perhaps cooking with Nadeko. Then we had this next part, which was straight gas, right? It's crazy. Like, look at this shot right here. Blood moons, right? Which is iconography. There's the word. Iconography from his room, right? So like, you know, part of this being like his conceptualization and stuff. It's literally pulling elements from his bedroom, right? But there's this like bleeding moons, red railroads, which are like the different paths to life, the different choices one makes, etc. It being railroads is interesting as well because railroads are like fixed, you know, as opposed to a road where you have wiggle room but you're still on the road. Like railroads, you don't even have that wiggle room. Minor thing, but look at this shot. Look at this shot. This shot has crazy energy. It was about how it's difficult to do the right thing. You could show this to somebody and I think they would be like, shoot, this show kind of cooks, does it not? Like if I saw this show, this shot in episode, like before watching episode 1, I would think it's a way different show. Not even necessarily different, but my like expectations for the show would be so incredibly different than if I saw like panties, right? Which is what I ended up seeing because that was episode 1, you know? So imagine that, right? This shot is crazy. This shot is in the same, not the same series, but the same episode as like freaking this business. Where is it? Start molesting. Don't do that. No. Bad. But like, where is the molesting? Sorry, that sounds crazy. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. But that's in the same episode as like this. Isn't that crazy? Like conceptually, it really does both, right? I'm trying to find the worst one, the worst offender in this sequence, just so my point of juxtaposition like is stronger, you know. I think it's right here. This shot of licking Hachiguchi's thigh is in the same episode, not just show, but episode as this shot about like it being difficult to do the right thing with blood moons and the rails of like choice around him. That's just crazy. This is crazy. I just love this show, man. How it like, this is such a massive like bruh moment in so many different ways and makes people like I've talked to people who have watched this show, a few in person, and I feel like I'm an ascended being. Like I feel like none of them have any idea what's going on. And I feel kind of bad about that because I feel like I'm like gatekeepy. I don't act gatekeepy, but like, I don't know. I don't like being like, oh, I'm better than you because I have more knowledge. But it really is a situation where I feel like people see this because how could they not? And then whenever something crazy and like amazing comes through like this, then they don't see it, right? Because this requires like a level of like deeper immersion to really like taste that fruit. You know what I mean? You got to reach for the higher branch. Okay. This ain't no low hanger, right? To really like engage with this stuff. So like, bro, whenever I've talked to people in person, they're like, they'll like say like a kind of some surface level stuff. And I'm just like biting back my tongue and being like, but wait, you don't understand. The point you just made doesn't make any sense in the grander context of Aragi's character arc, you know? Yeah. So just random. It's just crazy. It's just a crazy show in that way. And we've talked about that many, many times before, but I think this episode specifically is really funny proof of that. So yeah, this whole thing about pitch black righteousness, about correcting mistakes. I mean, it being in reference to Ogi makes a lot of sense, right? Because Ogi is like somebody that like forcefully fixes problems that Araragi like lacks the strength to fix, you know? And so for Ogi to be pitch black righteousness to oppose Araragi's pitch white, pure white righteousness would make a lot of sense. So because in both ways he's pursuing righteousness, but he's instead of immersing with his shadow self, he's distinguished it to remain pure, but it still like has to do the righteousness thing. Blah blah blah. Right, a bunch of stuff we could say there. Though it's also like for him to be questioning this so much, right? He's literally given the point. Hachiguchi says this will be the last time we talk, and instead of freaking out about that, he literally locks in and asks this question. So this question means like a ton to him, right? This line of thinking about like correcting rights versus doing the right thing, which by the way is my Discord status right now. Shout out my Discord status. Right here. this will probably be our last conversation after all. Like, I don't know if that necessarily means ever or just until we reach the top, but like it kind of sounds like an ever to me. Like last is kind of a finality, thing. So but instead of freaking out about that, he locks in. He goes, huh? Then I want to talk about something else, right? So he's so like this is such a I don't know. I feel like that shows how important it is to Araragi. And it all I think is like him trying to work through the reality of how he's been using Ogi, right? Where Ogi is either correcting wrongs or creating problems that then Araragi gets to correct, Because I don't know, there's kind of two ways you can see it there. I just specifically see Ogi coming in and causing freaking Owarimonogatari with Sengoku going crazy. I kind of see that as like as a Ogi making a wrong for Araragi to correct. But it, I guess you could maybe also see that as Ogi trying to correct the wrong of there being no god in the shrine. So it kind of depends how you read it. But either way, I mean, I think this shows that on some level Araragi is trying to work through what's going on, right? As opposed to completely averting his eyes from it, as opposed to completely ignoring it. He's trying to, on an abstract level about right and wrong, trying to figure out how he should consider Ogi, right? Where currently he sees Ogi as pitch black, I think. Well, yeah, because correcting wrongs. I mean, would I say that's what Ogi's doing? Yeah, I think so. Whereas and Araragi's just, is Araragi not correcting wrongs? Yeah, because it reminds me back to the shogi analogy with like Araragi and Ogi are the two players in the game, and so Araragi's playing against himself and like feigning a game to like, that whole conversation. That comes from I forget which episode specifically. One of the Kiyomi episodes, I believe, right? I think episode like 11 or 12, right? And that whole deal, that whole shabab, where because in that case, then it's like Ogi is creating problems, right? Playing the part of the player in the game, whereas and then Araragi is like countering that, and so Araragi then would be the one correcting problems, right? Problems of his own creation through Ogi, but that's abstracted enough that he doesn't have to stress about that. Which in that case, he's trying to then consider himself. What am I doing when I'm correcting problems, right? When I'm correcting mistakes, am I pitch black or not? Because he says it in regards to Hachiguchi's like, you're saying that in regards to yourself, and then he says no, someone else, and then it's Ogi, right? So it kind of feels like it applies to both of them, right? But I don't know. That was just a little bit of something there. Then I think that's most of what I wanted to say on the actual episode. Oh wait, that's in the ED. Shinobu's blah blah blah. He's having to reconcile that he can't be that hero, Seishiro, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. One more thing I wanted to point out in the episode before we go to the OP and ED, because I do have that little bit of yapping for those, is I'm taking a break from piling stones. What a diligent stone stacker. What a good stone piler. Little break time. Okay. It's when Araragi asks, like, what about Komburu? I don't remember where she says it. I don't know where Hachikuchi says it. Right here? No, that's about Ononoki. Come to think of it. Yeah, Ononoki, blah, blah, blah. Balance. Man, it's crazy. He says the word balance, and then we get a full sequence. We get 3 different shots: the water, the bridge, and then this shot of the statue of just silence. 4 with them going into the next realm. So it's left on that afterthought. It's left to think. That's like that's Araragi spending time thinking about balance, right? So we're also given a few moments to think about it. That's really cool. I just love the pacing. I love the pacing of that sequence. Where was the Komburu part? I don't remember exactly where it is. So I'll just say what happens, right? Where Araragi's like, hey, what about Komburu? Like, are we going to see that too? Because we don't, right? We don't have flashback to Komburu. And maybe right here. And Hachikuchi's like, no, that's something else. Why is Komburu different, right? What makes Kambaru different about this entire situation? Oh, right here. What about Kambaru? That's a different part. And she hits us with the craziest slow turn too. What do you mean that's a different part? Right? So I bring that up because obviously it's important and it's unresolved currently. So like there's something in the future we got to be ready for. But it also gives me a clean transition to the OP because look what's in the OP. It's a rain umbrella. So I might be losing it here. I might be losing my mind. But I almost want to think that like all this focus on water and then umbrella it might be some obscure reference to Kambaru, right? And I say that because Suruga Monkey, right? Though it was the rain devil, right? I don't remember if that was the term, but she was wearing the raincoat as the monkey mode, right? So like protection against rain is something that like I think only really has meaning tied to Kambaru. So like why is there a rain umbrella in this OP? Maybe something about that, right? And it's obscure. It's maybe a bit loose. But then water as well is something that I associate with Kambaru's family, especially Kambaru's mom, because there was that whole point of what was it like? Better to be poisoned than water or whatever. And like I don't know, because I just associate water with Kambaru and like the Kambaru bath, you know, where it's like the reflective water surface. Like there seems, and like she lives in like what, a hot springs, right? Like water seems to be very associated with Kambaru. And so for the OP to have Hachikuji with a rain umbrella, specifically umbrella covering the monster in a bag, on top of Kambaru being like spoken by Hachikuji to be a unique situation, like there's an incredible amount of Kambaru emphasis, right? I think through visual imagery as well through this OP that like I ain't really understand yet, you know. I'm not entirely sure why exactly Kambaru is so different. Maybe it's because he doesn't regret it. Like there's, you know, what is there to regret? Because at that point it was literally Kambaru just attacking him. But like you're not gonna regret catching Sundagahara. I guess what action did he take? I guess he attacked Kambaru, but that was in self-defense. We're dealing with Kambaru. Me flashbacking to literally over a year ago to remember Suruga Monkey. That's crazy. But yeah, so something there. Just something to think about here. And then there's something in the ED I want to make sure I catch. But yeah, okay. Let's watch the OP. This could be our OP watch, a little mini analysis. We'll do I want to do a clean run? We'll just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. 3, 2, 1, bang. Pile those stones. Mayoi hell. I just can't get over that, actually. I'm pausing already. Dude, just being like, hey, Hachikuji, oh my goodness. Mayoi hell. You can't do that, bro. Okay. And these are the different locations of hell, right? We literally have seen all these, like the freaking bloody place. Without a change from day to day, your kindness is a constant thing. Every day you wait here for me. Every day you wait here for me. Who's waiting for you? With the same smile on your face. Is this Araragi talking about Hachikuji? But every time I look at you, I find myself beginning to think how. Imagery is kind of just... She's going down, right? Which is kind of hell-based, but... It would be great if I could be just the same way, too. Oh, a giant snail! It would be great if I could be just the same way, too. I mean, Araragi to Hachikuji would be kind of crazy if that's the idea. Where it's like him looking at Hachikuji and be like, I want to be the same way. And she, because right here, this is her going down to visit Araragi, right? Because otherwise, whose smile is it, right? Whose smile doesn't change day to day waiting for her? I guess it could be Araragi. It's just, you wait here for me. He's not waiting for her, though, right? He just showed up here. If anything, she was waiting for him. So. Find myself beginning to think how. It would be great if we could be the same way too. I could be just the same way too. The same way I wish I didn't have to go home just yet. Okay, no, so this is Hachikuji. Yeah, it's Hachikuji singing, yeah. So, Hachikuji. Same way as Araragi. Same way I wish I didn't have to go home just yet. And then on top of the umbrella, no backpack. So the umbrella is what separated Hachikuji from her backpack? The umbrella separated Hachikuji from the burden? Right? The burden on her back? Is the umbrella a reference to Komaru? I mean, almost Ononoki, Lololoki. I guess Ononoki got them rain boots too, right? That's almost, maybe there's something there, like really loosely. Yeah, and this, I don't know, I only bring up Ononoki because Ononoki's the successor to Hachikuji, so if anything, like, Ononoki has, like, taken on the burden of Araragi from Hachikuji. So, yeah, that's something. And then drowning. I have a place that's dear to me. Hachikuji drowning to death. Horrible, horrible, very sad. We do be sinking. The Araragi sunset slash rise is really funny. That's the place I call home. Hell. This part's, by the way, this part's actually really good. Like musically wise, I actually really like this part where she goes like ding 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 ding. That part's good, bro. I like this part. The miracles you bring about are 1 in 100 million. But like right here. That's so good. I actually really like that. Wait, let me listen to it one more time. Is my audio fully up? My headphones are maybe a bit quiet. There we go. Oh, division signs. Wait, look, there's all the math signs, right? Divide, add, divide, add, divide, add, divide, add. Subtract, minus, subtract, minus, subtract, minus, subtract, minus. And cancel out. I don't know what the stop sign's here for. That's interesting. I mean, we that was already brought up, but we're singing the OP here. A cherry and then like bird feet or something, a giant star gets the burden back, or some crazy probability. As long as I exist right here. This shot go crazy, by the way. This is the kind of shot that I feel like it's like, oh, happy OP, oh, it's so happy-go-lucky. And then Araragi's, like, shadow is reflected in the water. And then it's like, no, this is Monogatari. All right? All that other nonsense, all that other flowery, colorful, stuff. Yeah, I mean, that is what Monogatari is. But this is what I'm interested in, bro. The random times that we see just a glimpse under the surface and there's something really interesting, right? The shadow reflected in the water of Araragi's, like, spirit arriving in his own self-created hell. Like, now that's cooking. As long as you're right here, I get to say it again. This is really sweet, by the way. Araragi doesn't move, but she moves towards him. Araragi's unflinching. Huh. Boy, am I hungry. She is chowing. Oh, you know what's so cute? Look at this. This is the bear paw of her backpack. The hand on the clock is the hand of the backpack claw. That's so fun. At first I thought it was maybe like a cat thing. No, it's the same thing as her backpack thing. Ah, that's fun. Stop twerking. Wait, I'm getting distracted from the lyrics. Let me look at the lyrics. Hey, I'm home and boy am I hungry. Win how many hours? Minutes? Seconds? And how many revolutions of the earth? Okay, the time it takes to get home. Right now, when I know that you care for me, just as much as I care for you, could this be true? Hopiness. I think that is meant to say happiness. Little subtitle slip up. Excuse me, I'm home. Oops, bit my tongue. Ooh, wait, was that That is Hachikuji, okay. The tree. Hachikuji's cute little face. Hi, Hachikuji. Snails. Mayoi hell. Cool, okay, let's do the ED now. Tadatsu, hey, brother. Hey, what's good with you, brother? Okay. The page still read halfway. Oh, you are fast. Calm yourself. I close shut the cover. The page still read halfway. I close shut the cover. Like, you're studying and you stop halfway through. You close the novel halfway. You die before it's your time. Whoa. Hey, look, it says P at the top. Yomikake no mamade tojata P. It's PG. But it looks like just P. A bookmark brings back a distant past almost forgotten. Bookmark brings back a distant past. I mean, that's literally what Araragi's doing in the second half, right? Going through, like, Shinobu memories and all that. Kiss shot memory. On that day, I found my light. Oh, this, okay. My hypothetical for this is Araragi coming to terms with his connection to Shinobu. And it's all based on the last line. So we'll get to that. On accepting it. On accepting his connection to Shinobu, accepting his decisions. It's all based on the last line. So let's think about that with a little bit of context. We'll maybe do 2 passes. We'll see. Bottom floor of the tower. Get in there. What's up, Hachikuji? When was it the heart inside my chest no longer felt stuck and left all alone in the dark? I love this imagery. I just love this style, man. No longer felt stuck and left all alone in the dark. The 2 sides of Hachikuji, by the way, like a little bit of Araragi Ogi type beat. I'm just saying. Okay. Is your heart that brought mine forth from the shade and into the brightly shining sun? Oh, brightly shining sun is like antithetical to Shinobu because of vampirism. But it did bring it. But his connection to Shinobu, well, it's kind of all Kizu, but like him connecting with Shinobu so much, or like his shot at the time, I guess was really important to him, like escaping from isolation and like a lot of that philosophy that he was carrying. Yeah. So that could maybe be like a thought here about what's going on. Shown as bright as star-filled sky. Is that Ogi? Wait, is that Ogi? Ogi, dude, get out of my OPED, bro. This is a Hachikuji ED. Get out of here. Wait, okay, what's the last one? And yet, though our future shone as bright as the star-filled sky might, though it had just begun to resemble the night sky. Okay. We're going deeper in. It was right then that I somehow lost sight of it all. Hachikuji with her little angel wings. I was thinking of... What were you thinking of? Myself the entire time? Ooh. I was thinking of myself the entire time? Whoa, run it back. When was it that I no longer felt alone? Your heart brought mine out of the shadow into the sun. Right? Out of isolation into otherness. Future shown as bright as the star-filled sky might. Star-filled sky, it goes back into the nighttime. Which is interesting with oddity stuff, right? But then I lost sight of it all. Because I was thinking to myself. Dang. So like all those connections were like narcissistically based in the self. Something like that. Interesting. Even now it sometimes comes back to me. I still pity myself. Good line. I love that. Can't stop the pain from swelling up in me. And yet I'll grow up to become someone different. Right here. So Araragi, we see Araragi's little paper doll floating upwards, right? So he's going up. It's talking about how in the future, even if it's not right now, in the future he'll be able to look back and things will be different. That's kind of a nod to what he said at the end of Owari Season 1, where he was walking to the shrine to get killed, basically. And he was saying, like, perhaps one day in the far future, like, things will be different. You know, that was, like, something he said. Though it was kind of ironic because he doesn't have a future because he's about to get killed, right? You know, so that was kind of built in. But it's kind of that same idea of like one day I'll look back and it'll be different, even if it's not now. Even if now that's not really conceivable, like something that I can do. He can conceive of a future where it's done, right? He can conceive of growing up, like it feels real and happening, right? And then right here, this is the part that like is Shinobu, right? Oh, please wait, please don't be me smoking crack. Meeting you back on that special day, kiss shot, I mean rather. Meeting you back on that special day. Boom. Yeah, it is Shinobu. Okay, thank goodness. Look, it's Hachikuji and these like flowers or whatever, but Araragi and Shinobu are together here, right? Changed my life. So like you could like say, you could probably figure a lot of this out in regards to Hachikuji and Araragi or something, right? I think a lot of that would be pretty like, you know, boom, bang, bop. But that part of like of Shinobu being the one to bring him out of isolation. You know what I'm saying? And how perhaps he says one day in the future I can look back on this and like be accepting of it. What do you say? I can one day I'll be able to look back and think that meeting you back on that special day. Big build up. One day I'll be able to look back and see that meeting you back on that special day changed my life, right? And that has a very positive thing. On that special day is very like affectionate. So for that to be like the possible future that Araragi can comprehend of looking back on meeting Shinobu as a positive thing, right? Where he no longer regrets it, but he can see in his far future, perhaps once he's grown up more, that he will be accepting of that. That is massive if true. That is literally like Hanakawa levels of character development, like good ending material. You know what I mean? So it being specifically Shinobu and Araragi here in the back, where Hachikuji's in the foreground, but like really, it kind of feels like it's about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, because why was it Shinobu here? You know, she just pops in for the last frame, for the last shot. So that was my mini hypothesis of that. But we'll be seeing both of the OP and the ED some more. That was just a little bit there. I kind of want to just jump into the next episode. We're already a good hour into the recording, you know? So that's usually about the time that I'm like, oh, time to jump. Let me just make sure I didn't forget anything in my main dump of stuff. One day, this literally, one day I'll be able to look back and see that meeting you on that special day changed my life. ED in reference to Shinobu. That's literally what I have written in my notes here. Yeah. So, Tadatsuru. Hey, you feel like a pawn in fate, right? You've kind of talked about that before. How are you feeling about our current situation? How do you feel about your death perhaps being part of Gon's schemes? But is it even Gon scheming? Because he was kind of saying, like, I don't like this kind of situation I'm in as a pawn. I feel like I'm being put into a role thing. There was like the whole thing of the play and whatnot. Let's just see what Tadatsuru has to say. Homeboy did not get enough screen time, right? So I guess this is his makeup session, just like a cram school. Monogatari reference. But yeah, let's jump into this episode 2 of Owarimonogatari. Should be excited. Season 2, of course. Let's get us going in a 3, a 2, a 1, a bang. He's dead. Okay. I just like Mario jumped. I just misinput and Mario jumped. Okay. He gave Gon the Gon information to Hachikuji. Makes sense. That's a really good point that I completely forgot about. That is really scary, but true. Okay, I'll trust him on this. I got it! Yes! That's what I was saying! Oh, thank goodness! I'm not the crazy one. I'm not the crazy one. Okay. Got it! Bro, we are there. Oh, we are there, Hachikuji. That's what we deserve. That's because you called yourself human in the beginning. Let's go! I feel so good about that one. That's a dub. That's a winner. We take that one. Oh, let's go, bro. That's like a good read. I barely ever get to read this show. I take that. I'm sorry. What are you saying? I was not paying attention. Hachikuji was so happy for Araragi there. That's why we killed you. Sucked. Okay, no, that was the roll. Yeah, okay. Focus up. What a dub. We take those, bro. Oh, he also went to hell. That's kind of funny. Yeah, he was a sacrificial pawn for Araragi to get his vampirism rid of him. Dude, we are cooking! Alright, you ever doubt the chef in the kitchen? Never again! Never again! Holy crap. That's crazy, bro. It's just, it was too easy, bro. It's too easy. That's what he gets for calling himself a human. Stop relating to humans or I'm gonna doubt you, Araragi. That's crazy of you. Dang, good stuff. That little, what is being subtracted question. Good questioning. Good line of questioning. Thanks to the comments, too. That, you know, comments are part of that. Appreciate y'all. Not spoiling, but, you know, giving a little bit of a, like, what about that subtraction element, though? It's like, you know what? What about it, huh? That's what I thought. Good stuff, bro. This show is cooking right now. This show is crazy right now. Oh, no! My new pajamas. I just spilled Dr. Pepper on them. You tell him, Hachikuji. People, listen, I don't know, I'm not gonna get distracted. I have paper towels because I spill on myself all the time. That's what happened. Pause. Okay. Get that out of here. Alright. Oh, hey, Tadatsu. So we know I'm there already. We're there already on the vampirism. On the we've already discussed the abstract like consequences of that. We're ahead of you. So what's the play? We revive you. What happens to Hachikuji? Nothing. Hachikuji left behind. Mayhaps. Could challenge Araragi's because there's a difference in being revived versus dying, right? Because now that you're dead, you know, maybe he won't want to leave Hachikuji again. Maybe that's a mini. I don't know. We'll see. Let's just see. Is this gonna feel like another burden to him? Give me my jacket, Pog. How do you feel about that? What? But I had already been dead as far as my human life, as my life as a human goes. Oh, what? Okay, I didn't follow that, but okay. He was already here. Gon had a thumb in the other realm, bro. Ooh, this music. Sick. Nobody except Gon, yeah. Oh, and Oshino. Where's homeboy Oshino at? Oh, she's doing stone piling. No, Hachikuji. That's crazy. That's a crazy tech. The puppeteer's the puppet master. Or the puppeteer's being puppeted, I mean. That was an entire thing back in his arc, right? What's up? This guy? I'm being told to hurry. Okay. Ooh, glass eyes? Has hated me ever since I quit college. Really? Oh, shoot. He's making dolls. Oh my goodness, he hung himself. I think. A puppet oddity. Tadatsuru. No, it's the hanging doll. It's himself. Somewhere wandering the boundaries of the material world and the afterlife. Oh, this guy's kind of sick. Detroit become human? So he's like functionally immortal. Yeah. If you wanted to call me an oddity, I'm an oddity. Yeah. Even outside of Gon's network. That's crazy. Who made the request? Yourself? Ooh, Araragi infamy. Acknowledged as harmless within Gon's network. That's crazy, but didn't matter to me. Even more dangerous, even more like interesting could be a problem. Wow, yeah. That's right. These flashes, what are these flashes for? Is this like us staying in the afterlife too long? What's going on there, you know? Kambaru Suruga? Okay. Why is that so important? What is so important about her? Like, I know that that's what she is, but like, what does that mean? Middleman? We're drowning again. Who? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's rarely right. It's rare that Araragi's actually... Okay! Oshino's back in the picture. Oshino's back in the picture. Why Oshino? Why though? Man's a free spirit. Man's built diff. Oshino, bro. Okay. What move? What move? Oh my goodness! Wait, can I buy one? Whoa, 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 whoa. He was trying to. I'm certain he was trying to convince me you two weren't dangerous. Okay, and he figured out the doll thing. Oh shoot! Oshino, bro. Maybe he's the real puppet master. What is he doing? If you lay on my hands, I'll reveal your true identity. Ooh, okay. Bro, I need Oshino to. Yeah, what'd he say? What'd he say? Yeah. And Straith, indeed they have. Araragi colludes with Shinobu and continues to vampirify himself. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, pretty much what happened. Oh my goodness, he's doing Survivor. So he was on call in case Araragi got out of control to come in and deal with things. If he continued to vampirify, because then it's starting to spiral, and that was yeah. Obviously that's what happened. Won't be able to act. Oh, Oshino's a genius, bro. Oh hi, Tsukihi. Oh, because he kidnapped him. Oh my lord. Give Karen pants. Kombu, my goodness. What are you doing to her? Great question. Where's the lad? What is Kombu doing to Karen, dude? Thus the curtains rose on that farce of a play. Ooh! What is up there? Hello? Who is that? Hachikuji, what are you doing? Oh, that's alright. Uh, we're gonna have to cut you off here. Yeah. Araragi, you better grab on to that. He's being a little risky here. Mm-hmm. Figure out the plan by going along with it. Okay. Right, because it. Onono- that's kind of what Ononoki was there for, I feel like, right? Yo, Hachikuji. I love Hachikuji. Oh, Kamio. Yay, Hachikuji. Wait, are we going to lose you again already? Oh, no. Just the human part. Okay, so you can do that, Heard. If that's the case, should have told me before frame, but didn't she? Why didn't she tell me in advance? Was the point of that little question, that mental question from Araraki? Why didn't she tell me in advance? Demon Blade Heartspan revived with the Demon Blade Dreamspan. Okay, I flipped them earlier. Yeah. Because exactly, like, how do we know that's how that works? Cut ahead of you into hell. Wait, so what'd you do? What preparations did you make to only revive the human part? Okay, grab it, Araragi. Grab it, right? Is it gonna be okay? He grabbed it. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. It's kind of scaled like a snake. Hachikuji. Where am I dropping? Oh, at that park in hell. Good question. I didn't think about that. No, I get it. I'm just drawing it out. Climbing up the white snake and coming back to life. I keep delaying it further and further. Why does this matter? I don't know what that means. I don't speak this language. I'm so sorry. What does that mean? Shira Hebi. Snake. Hebi is snake. Okay. Water radical. Water snake. Water snake? Oh my goodness. That means so much. I just don't know what it means. Oh, shoot. Similar to the shrine? Wow! Yeah, Oki told us that story. Oh, shoot. That's the previous location of the shrine? What does that mean to us? Mistaken the connection. It was like bringing an ocean god to the top of a mountain. Hachikuji's getting bored of the exposition. Don't let go. Or... Bye, Hachikuji. I think. Ooh, yeah, there's that doubt I was expecting. She saw that coming. She saw that coming. What is this crab stance? What is this power stance? Oh, she's pissed. Good shot. Good shot. Good shot. Good shot. Yeah, fight, fight. Yeah, ugh. Yeah, come on. You don't want to go through painful experiences? Ooh. Dang, crazy line. Yeah, get some gratitude up in you, brother. You're fortunate. Which is, man, like last episode when he was saying that he was so unlucky. She's saying, no, you're lucky, bro. Come on. That's why she called him Otter Lucky or whatever. But I feel like I'm cutting in line when I shouldn't be. She was so ready to come in and convince him to come back to life because we knew he would hesitate. Ooh. Ooh, okay. The confidence. I might start to hate you. Stop moping. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 What does this mean? Toplessness, bloomers, school issued swimsuits, class reps, Boku, cat ears, sports. He loves so much. He's so full of love. Yeah. Grab hold of the tendril again, please. And you are someone who loves to be alive. Dang. It was so obvious that I had forgotten. I came to the brink of death over and over again, narrowly escaping death each time. I'd completely forgotten. If I'm not alive, I can't cherish girls at all. Shoot! Grrr. If it keeps you living, you gotta do what you gotta do. The meaning of life is an unsure thing. Wasn't there plenty of meaning in just being alive? Ooh, inherently? A lifeline. If I loved being alive, then that's all that matters. After all, it gave me a chance to love so many things. Stupid. Yeah, I was worried that he let go. I thought it was gonna leave. No, thank you. Dang, those are some good lines. What's about to go wrong? Excuse me? Okay, there we go. The little dash. Whenever there's a little dash, it scares me. Okay, bro. Oh. That's kind of... Wait, that was kind of real. I got stones to pile, bro. What the heck? Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy concept. Oh my goodness, but that's how parents connect to their inner child through their children. Aww. Sorry, I'm gonna just read into it. I don't care. Yay. Bye, Achikuji. Ignition blasting off. Bye, Achikuji. Don't let go. Don't let go. Don't tunnel vision. Are you gonna... I only get to be resurrected by pushing Hachikuji aside. To part with her? That's what I was worried about. Come... Is he gonna try to grab her? Oh no, he's kidnapping her. He's bringing an extra person. Oh no, Aragi. What's this gonna do, bro? Who requested your extermination? Oh, it was Ogi, bro. Ogi is such an issue, bro. Ogi's the worst. I'm not even surprised on that. He just yoinked out. Go ahead and move Aragi. What do you mean? I'm not gonna be mad at that. Are you crazy? Free Hachikuji revival. Yoink. No, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't think about... Yeah, like... So, okay, so Hachikuji coming out of hell was something he couldn't help himself but do, as opposed to being part of the plan. Because we were kind of cooking with that, you know? We were cooking with that the other day. Being like, shoot, you know, does... What would reviving what Hachikuji is mean for Aragi, right? Like, are we reconnecting with that, or do we need to get rid of that and growing up, blah, blah, blah? I'm not at all surprised he did that. I was worried he was going to let go to go down to her. I was very worried about that. So for him to grab her, it's like, oh, we take that for sure. Like, he's still getting revived as a human. Man, wait. Oshino predicted Ogi. Dude, Oshino predicted Ogi. Oshino knew it was Araragi from the beginning, bro. Oshino knew as soon as he met Araragi, he was like, "Oh, this is the real problem with this town, bro." Because he predicted Ogi because he predicted that once Araragi kept vampire being more and more vampire, that somebody would give Tadatsuru a message. Wait, but how did Ogi know about Tadatsuru? To even give the extermination mission. Ooh, there's more. There's more. Wait, Mayoi hell's over? Yoink. Wait, we're gonna get another new OP? A clock. On your contrarian, Wait, it's on your right hand, isn't... Wait, I forgot. Oh! Hey, Aragi, could you please save my life, please? Yo, what's up, Kiss Shot? Shinobu. What do I call you when you're like this? Okay, so you paused because Dreamspan was going on. You didn't want to interrupt. Oh, are you shrinking again? What are you doing? What is going on here? My gazongers. She's starting like a runway model. That's what's going on here. You are so annoying. You are so annoying. It's all the flash photography of her strut, bro. Okay, dude. Aw. Aww. You even went and kidnapped a little girl from hell. She's literally unconscious. Achikuchi! Welcome back to the land of the living, Achikuchi. Glad to see you. I made it so the darkness is going to come after Achikuchi again, didn't I? Good question. She got both, bro. She looked crazy. Slight advantage in the upcoming battles. The lost girl. Ooh, we recaptured a piece. We got a piece back. What's the battle? What's the battle? Ogi versus us? But, like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah! We gotta take our exam. What are we gonna do now that we're alive? So, battle incoming, Ogi. We're gonna showdown for the rest of this arc, and then what's next? Zoku? Is it just the war arc? I have all my weapons now. Let's settle the score. White Day? What does that mean? End the story of this town where White Snake once reigned. Damn. Damn. Okay, Guyan. Okay. Is that the end? That's the end. Let's try to go to the next one. Oh, dude. Okay, the Gon counterattack. This reminds me of freaking what Araragi said when he told Ogi about Hachikuji being gone. Didn't he literally like say like something about like war or battle? I feel like he said something way back then about it. Dang, God, we're launching our counterattack. What's the play? I mean, she's got swords. We're launching our counterattack. Araragi's back. No vampirism. Now kiss shot. Fully kiss shotted up. Hachikuji back on the field. Wait, we're actually equipped. Wait, we're actually equipped out the wazoo here. I don't even know. Bro, who's the... So, okay, so we want to get rid of Ogi, sure. But, like... How hard is it to kill Ogi? Man, is Ogi connected to more than Araragi? She's definitely connected to Araragi. I mean, Ogi Oshino. We know there's power in a name because of the familiar stuff. With, like, Oshino Shinobu, right? And, like, Ononoki. So, I mean, a part of me wonders if, like, maybe there's something crazy going on with that. And then, okay, so Oshino came in. This episode was crazy, bro. Dang, we were on it, though. This episode went, like, I was, like, beat by beat, I was like, yo, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good. You know what I'm meaning? So, like, I feel like I'm pretty, like, I don't know what we're going to do next. I don't know what's going on next. And especially some of this stuff about, like, water snake. There's, like, a couple really big questions that I don't have the answers to, you know? About, like, the importance of Komaru in relation to water, the importance of the snake god, right? That, like, once resided here, you know? So, you know, like, there's a lot of things going on there. The shrine being at the playground is really interesting, or used to be at the playground. The description of it being a ocean god moved to the top of a mountain, or rather a lake god. I don't remember the exact. I didn't catch what he was referring to about lake, because he said something about lake, right? And Araragi was like, "Oh, I think I heard that before." So, because obviously you don't want the ocean god on top of the mountain, you don't want the lake god on top of the mountain, right? That doesn't make sense, you know. So, that's an entire cooking area. Oh my goodness, we're gonna get another OP. Don't mind about it. Don't mind about it. Because that was like the... Dude, 2-episode arc, Mayoi hell. Because, yeah, I guess this is like... It being moved... This is kind of the mistake that Ogi was talking about back when Ogi explained the shrine. Low-key should watch that Kiyomi episode. North Shirahebi Shrine. He puts it together. I guess it was a mistake in the connection which caused some distortion or something. Yeah, and so that's what why Ogi doesn't like that place, because it has that distortion. Ogi trying to course correct, that kind of deal. Ooh, man. Some of this stuff was good. You have the right to be resurrected. I feel like I'm cutting in line when I shouldn't be. Oof. You do have the right to be resurrected. You qualify for at least that much. This was some good dialogue. This was some real juicy dialogue. The goat, bro. When we needed her most, bro. If you don't deserve to come back to life, then just who do you think it does? Yeah, Hachikiju is so ready to come in clutch like this here. Hmm. Oh, and then the little girls thing. That's the crazy thing, bro. I'm like if the thing that's keeping you from death, if the thing that's keeping you alive is this kind of like this type of nonsense or whatever, like do it. You know what I mean? Right? If the thing that keeps you living is your love for like milfs, you know, like, or whatever, your love for cat girls or whatever, then at least it's keeping you going. Like, who am I to ever judge? Who is anyone to ever judge? Like, it's one of those things where it doesn't even matter to me, like the source of your motivation to live, as long as you have a motivation to live, right? I don't care how you life affirm, as long as you're life affirming, right? And that's not entirely true, but like overall, much like the end of life affirmation is much more important to me than the means of how you do it, right? Because the saddest thing to me is someone denying their own life, right? That is such an incredible sadness. So in contrast to that, like anything, right? If your love of being alive comes from your cardinal sin, no, what's the word, carnal desire for other people, then you know what, at least you love being alive, right? We can take that as partially a win, you know, as long as it's not like a problem, right? You are someone who loves to be alive. It was so obvious I had forgotten. Dang. Man, it reminds me, man, I gotta rewatch everything. Like Sodachi, bro. Makes me think of Sodachi, man. And that's just kind of what I was saying on the last episode too, about how death like serves to like make Araragi like escape from fixating on death, right? Because now he's actually experienced it, and that's kind of what he says, isn't it? Like, I'm glad I got to experience dying. Something like that. I don't remember exactly where he says it, but it's kind of that thing where like now he can no longer use death because he's done it. Been there, done that, died, got revived, you know. His sins lifted off of him. Now he has to deal with the sin that's taken its own breath, right? The sin that walks on its own feet, Ogi. Kind of being a bit dramatic with my language there, but you know, there's still other problems to fix, right? The ramifications, the ripples of all his actions, right? Even if he himself has been renewed. But yeah, now he can no longer like view death in that way, I think, which should help with a lot of his like recklessness and such. And he's no longer a vampire, so he can't even be doing that, you know. Man, where's something the army, bro? Bro, Monogatari Assemble, bro. It's an Avengers. The Monogatari Avengers. That's crazy. Hachikuji will return in Zoku Monogatari. You know what I mean? Is Zoku the last one? I forget. Karen, Kombaru, why is Karen not wearing any pants? I'm not seeing shorts. I'm not seeing panties. That's crazy. Sent shivers up my spine too, Araragi, in a fear response. Karen, get out of there. Yeah. The one thing that I'm a little worried about is the Oshino biz. Because for Oshino to call Ogi, because I think he did, right? Couldn't we say that? Because he said, like, you're going to, like, Tadatsu, you're gonna be contacted. I received a request. The request is from Ogi. Right? Someone had him taking precautions. This is the, I think where, man, where did you talk about? At the time, I didn't understand what he was telling me. Wait, maybe I went too far. Let me just let some of this play. Because I want to figure out what Oshino knows and what Oshino told Tadatsuru. And if he called Ogi. Because Ogi being attached to Oshino through Oshino Ogi would then make me, like, slight suspicion onto Oshino and what's going on there. Right? Dang, this is crazy right now. This arc is cooking. Y'all were not lying. She should be waiting to hear from you. Gon-senpai is her position to uphold and she won't be able to act. He didn't understand. Wait, no, back. Okay, right here. If you leave them alone, there shouldn't be any problems unless he vampirizes more. So, okay, him going more and more vampire mode led to Ogi? Because that's him falling from his humanity, I guess. Which then would maybe, like, spiral into the summoning of a hero that will kill all monsters, i.e. Ogi, because Araragi has become enough of a vampire that he will consider himself a monster, and so his drive for heroism creates the black righteousness of Ogi that then would destroy himself, which would then be why the extermination things comes into play. Could that be how we say it? Because we would be saying there that, like, Oshino realizes that Araragi, his whole, like, justice deal, right, through seeing him in Bake, and that if Araragi continues to get more and more vampiric, then he will become a target for himself, which will result in the creation of Ogi as something to destroy him. So, yeah. Because that would be, because that's what Oshino's saying here to Tadotsu, that him continuing to become a vampire more and more will lead to you getting the request, and we know the request is from Ogi, so that means him becoming more and more vampire either creates Ogi or gives Ogi motivation to act in that way. Because there is a crazy question of what if Ogi's been here like the entire time or whatever, like what if Ogi's been here for a long time? That's always been kind of a fun question in my head, like when did Ogi really spawn in? But nonetheless, right, you know, called into action versus spawn is kind of similar, right? You would not shy away from recklessness, right? And that, yeah, even if he knew. So he knew that Ogi would spawn, right? Or at least a request to hunt him down. I guess the request, it sounds like he knows Ogi would spawn. I think we can say that because he knew Araragi so well. I think, so for him to be able to, like, call that would make sense to me. Man, and now that Araragi's been purified and then brought Hachikuchi back, now he has to deal with, like, his shadow. Ooh. That's gonna be crazy, bro. I don't even know how they're gonna approach this, right? He's gonna take his exam. What other forces are we gonna rally? Kanbaru? Kanbaru's a unique situation. That's all we really know about Kanbaru. Well, we know a lot. I know too much about Kanbaru that I've gotten lost in this house, bro. She should be waiting for here. Okay, so now he's just talking about Gon. So yeah, it's like Oshino. Okay, so I guess I could just say that Oshino knew that because he's that good at reading people that he called the situation that far in advance. That makes sense to me. I'm good with that. It's just it being Oshino Ogi. Well, I guess Ogi. Why did Ogi pick that? Did Ogi pick that? Because my kind of original idea for that, for Ogi being Ogi Oshino, was that it was tied to his abandonment. Him feeling abandoned by Oshino, and so Ogi was like there to replace that abandonment in a sense. That it was kind of done as that like a coping thing. But in that case, why did maybe Oshino left so that Ogi would fill Oshino's void, so that Oshino would have the power over Ogi through Ogi having Oshino's name. That's crazy. Okay, I'm starting to really go nuts there. But think about this spiral, right? Where we have Oshino intentionally leaves to cause a void to form within Araragi that then these ambient issues that eventually will form Ogi will funnel into, which creates Oshino Ogi, right? And then Oshino himself can come back later and he'll be extra potent against Ogi because Ogi is tied to Oshino through the name Oshino Ogi, which calls back to how the familiars work. So in that way, that would be really sick. Because I could totally see Oshino coming back for this final piece and being very useful against Ogi. Ogi being like the final villain, antagonist, right? And maybe that's exactly why he left. Was he left in a million IQ play as preparation against Ogi? Bro, now we're cooking with gas. This is crazy. This is crazy right now. Bro, I wish I had a snack. I'm freaking hungry. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my stomach, man. Dang, what else even? Because that's a problem. I don't know exactly, like, we're now at the end of this arc, and next arc is just the counterattack. My counterattack idea is we just jump Ogi. Oh, we have a sword. Oh, he got you. You killed Araragi like a million times a second, right? Just do that to Ogi, dub. Ogi, have fun in the hell. Later, dog. Right? But, like, it's not going to be that easy. Oh, because Ogi knows whatever Araragi knows, low key, right? That's kind of a thought I've had. So Ogi knows. Ogi knows that they're coming for Ogi. So how do you counterattack? I don't know. I'm also slightly worried. I'm like I think that's my like good ending reading of Oshino, of like his actions. I also have slight worry just because he's such a like we just don't know much about him. So I'm still like not 100% confident in anything I say about him. Tadatsu kidnapped a naked girl. He kidnaps Kaworu, or Karen when she got no pants on. That's crazy, Tadatsu. He's literally standing over them, watching them as a puppet here. Why didn't Oshino try to do anything about himself? That thought intrigued him. Yeah, I think he, through leaving, was doing something in a preparatory action. Right? Who could say, though? And thus the curtains rose. It seems like she could have done it beforehand, but since she didn't... Okay, this is about Gon. I mean, this could... A reason Gon wouldn't tell Araragi about this plan could be that telling Araragi by proxy tells Ogi, don't want to tell Ogi what's going on, therefore don't tell Araragi what's going on. Simple as, right? If that's the case, it seems she could have told me beforehand, but since she didn't, that means there must be a reason she couldn't tell me in advance. I think it's because of your attachment to Ogi, bro. That's simple enough. Maybe it's a part of her strategy to beat the enemy. I think it is. That would make enough sense to me, right? There's no way for me to know from my viewpoint. If you could just realize the situation with Ogi, then you would realize, right? From your viewpoint, it is possible. But, well, you know the craziest thing. Shout out to the beginning of this video, right, where the light is darkest under, or the shadow is darkest underneath the candlestick, right? There's no way for me to know from my viewpoint. Araragi is the candle, right? How could he be aware of the shadow he casts, right? All he does is cast light, right? Like in that way, you know, maybe we can be more empathetic for Araragi. But then Hanakawa walks in with freaking tiger striped hair, Giga Chad, so like gonna kind of give it to her, you know? Like it's possible to do these things, right? She's living proof of it. So she's become one with the shadow, bro. She has done her shadow self-integration. Dang. Yeah, so this is going really well to plan, though. I mean, we got Hachikuji for free, and Gon likes that. I was worried about that, about whether that'd be good or bad or not, because of the darkness. But since darkness is from Araragi, and probably from tied to Ogi as well, right? The pitch black of her eyes, correcting things, right? Correcting Hachikuji was what was going on there. So that whole schema, that whole situation is, so Hachikuji being alive is anti-Ogi. We're trying to deal with Ogi. That totally makes sense, right? We would want Hachikuji alive for then. We are cooking with gas. Dang, like I don't even know what to predict. I don't even know what to say. This was a good episode. This was mostly stuff that really like Araragi being super like life affirming was kind of surprising for me, but I guess it makes sense when you're in death, right? That was kind of the one point of him dying, as we were saying in episode 1, right? Where or even before that, I don't remember, but like the purpose of when hypothesizing why Gon would kill and then revive Araragi, it would be to show, one of the hypotheses earlier was that that would make death be viewed differently by Araragi, and so that idea is kind of this, where he's now realizing that he loves life, or like remembering that he loves life. It's a reminder that he loves life through dying, right? So that makes a lot of sense. We were kind of there on that, you know. And then the cutting out the vampirism, we were there for. Feels really freaking good, man. When did they say that? It was early. It was like here. To put it was it right here? To put it briefly, to be killed. No. He's talking about his role. Oh wait, it was like instant, was it not? Right here. Oh, right here. Yeah. Literally, how long? How far in? 40 seconds. Okay, 40 seconds in. Okay. I like how happy Hachikuji is for him. Look at her. She's so happy for him. She kind of steps back a little bit because she's just like, isn't that great? Oh, I get it now. About the subtraction stuff. Yeah. She's just kind of being coy. Oh, Hachikuji. I'm so glad she gets to stay with us. I was worried, bro. So the part that was subtracted was my vampirism. Dude. That's what I've been saying. Feels good, man. Yeah. Dang, is that where I'm going to leave it for this episode? I think it might be, bro. We got more thinking to do for what is to happen with this counterattack. There's a few episodes we could look at. We could look at the Ogi Shrine episode for sure. Koyomi Shrine, whatever it was. Because there's some big stroke pause plays being made with this shrine moving, right? Which I don't fully understand. I think it somehow even connects to Kombu with the water stuff, but I don't really understand it perfectly, right? And that would maybe play into why Kombu is different, because Kombu is unique. We just I don't fully understand why. I don't understand the purpose of that, but so there's some stuff. There are some holes for us to figure out. But I don't have any good ideas off the top right now, right? So we'll definitely have to return to some of those. Otherwise, it's just how do we deal with Ogi, right? Jumping Ogi with a sword. That's what I got, you know? Kiss Shot being back in full action is crazy, too. That was really crazy to see. Or Shinobu being in full power. Would you mind asking this terrifying beauty to put away her claws? Because now, dude, we are juiced. We got Shinobu full Kiss Shot power on our side. We got Hachikuji in between Araragi's legs, pause. We got Araragi no vampirism. We got Gon double bladed up. The sun is shining. It's beautiful. The sky is radiating. We're probably gonna go pick up Kombu. Oshino could come in clutch easy. Episode is still on the payroll, low key. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was just there to get the armor. We're feeling good, bro. We are feeling good, feeling great on the interstate. But yeah, that's all I really got for this one, I think. Episode 2 of Owarimonogatari Season 2. On to the next episode 3 should be very, very exciting. Ooh. But on to the next episode 3 should be exciting. Of course, if you like the video, subscribe. If you are new, blah, blah, blah. Comment down below if you have anything to say, join the Discord and talk to me or other Owarimonogatari Season 2 fans there. But until then, until the next episode, that's all I got for tonight. I will be seeing you then.